All students are welcome to next chemistry lecture. Students, today we are here going to discuss the next point from modern periodic table. It is block-wise characteristics of elements, in which the subpoint is characteristics of p block elements. In previous lecture we see general instruction or just introduction for block-wise characteristics of elements, and next one characteristics of s block elements. Now students, we take collect information about characteristics of p block elements. विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, आज आपण त्या ठिकाणी पी ब्लॉक एलिमेंट जे आहेत त्या ठिकाणी दॅट इज बोरॉन फॅमिली, कार्बन फॅमिली, नायट्रोजन, ऑक्सिजन, हॅलोजन्स, इनर्ट गॅसेस या एलिमेंटच्या प्रॉपर्टीज कोणत्या आहेत तर त्या थोडक्यात आपण पाहणार आहोत. सो स्टार्टिंग विथ जस्ट सी ऑन युअर स्क्रीन, modern periodic table just divide into four blocks. First one S, second P block, second third D, and fourth one A block, depending on the electrons or valence electrons enter into its last orbit. त्याच्यामधला लास्ट ऑर्बिट मधला जो किंवा वॅलन्स इलेक्ट्रॉन आहे तो कोणत्या ऑर्बिटल मध्ये एंटर करतो. इट मे बी एंटर इनटू S, it may be enter into P, into D, or into F, and depending on that there are four blocks of modern periodic table, that is S, P, D, and F. So what are p block elements? The elements in which the valence electrons or last orbit electrons of these elements they enter into p orbitals, so they are termed as p block elements. Examples: boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, etc. Now today we are here going to see what properties of these elements in short. So starting with first property, the p block element contains, that is 13 to 18 groups. Here particularly in the main structure of periodic table, the p block elements are particularly on the right side, extreme right side block of the modern periodic table, that contains 13 to 18, that is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18 group elements, or particularly 13 to 18 group. यामध्ये आपण जर पाहिलं त्याच्यामध्ये ग्रुप नंबर 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 आणि 18 हे या पी ब्लॉक एलिमेंट्स मध्ये समाविष्ट होतात, इन्क्लूड होतात. Now next, the p block elements together with s block elements are called main group elements or representative elements. Particularly s block elements are first and second group elements, that is of lithium family and second beryllium family, and along with the s block, the p block elements, that 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Both blocks elements are termed as main group elements or representative elements because particularly most of these elements are involved in the study of chemistry. आपण जर पाहिलं तर या ठिकाणी ह्याच्यामधले जे एलिमेंट्स आहेत त्या एलिमेंट्सचे जास्तीत जास्त स्टडी आपल्या या केमिस्ट्री विषयामध्ये केला जातो. म्हणजेच त्याच्या सोर्सेस असतील, त्याच्या प्रॉपर्टी, फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज असतील, त्याच्या केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज असतील, त्याच्या मेथड्स ऑफ प्रिपरेशन्स असतील, त्याचे युजेस असतील, त्याचे स्ट्रक्चर्स असतील. तर हा सर्व जो भाग असेल तो भाग या केमिस्ट्री विषयामध्ये केला जातो. म्हणून त्या दोन ग्रुपमधले जे एलिमेंट्स आहेत, first one s block elements and second one p block elements, they are termed as main group elements or representative elements. Now here we see which elements are present in p block elements. So see in your screen, your mobile or on your screen, modern periodic table, structure of the modern periodic table, and concentrate on particularly p block elements. So first one, group number 13, that contains boron family. The elements are present: boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, thallium, etc. These are the elements present in 13 group. Now next one, carbon family, that contains silicon, germanium, tin, lead, etc. Next one, nitrogen family, nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth, etc. Next one, oxygen family, oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium, etc. Next, halogen family, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine, etc. And last one, inert gases or noble gas family, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. So first one, boron family, second, carbon family, nitrogen, then group number 16, oxygen family. It is also called as chalcogens. This family also termed as chalcogens. And last one, inert gases or noble gases. Now student, next property, these are the elements. So the last group of the p block, namely the 18th group, is the family of noble or inert gases. So see the structure of p block elements. First, last one is group number 18, contains helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, etc. These are the elements present in. So these are called as noble or inert gases. Why they are called as noble or inert gases? Consider first one, helium. It contains 2 electrons. Its atomic number is 2. Its electronic configuration is 1s2. So there are 2 electrons present in its valence shell or outermost orbital, and there is completion of its last orbit with 2 electrons, that is with duplet. Now next one, neon, with atomic number 10. Its electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, and 2p6. Total number of electrons present in its valence shell is equal to 8. So its last orbit complete with 8 electrons, that is with octet. म्हणजे या ठिकाणी जर आपण पाहिलं तर या एलिमेंटमध्ये त्या ठिकाणी फर्स्ट हेलियम आणि खाली जर त्या ठिकाणी निऑन ऑर्गन जर पाहिलं तर त्याच्यामध्ये लास्ट ऑर्बिटमध्ये 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स प्रेझेंट असतात, म्हणजे त्याचं ऑक्टेट कंप्लीट असतं. आणि हे ऑक्टेट कंप्लीट असल्यामुळं त्या ठिकाणी त्यांची रिॲक्टिव्हिटी जी आहे ती अतिशय कमी असते, आणि म्हणून त्यांना त्या ठिकाणी इनर्ट गॅसेस म्हटलेलं आहे, किंवा दे आर टर्म ॲज noble gases. Right? Group number 18 or group or noble or particularly inert gas. That these elements have closed valence shell, that is complete duplet in the case of helium or complete octet in the case of other noble gases, and therefore they have very low chemical reactivity. आपण पाहिलेलं आहे त्या ठिकाणी त्याची जी केमिकल रिॲक्टिव्हिटी आहे ती त्या ठिकाणी का कमी आहे, की ज्यामुळे त्यांचं लास्ट ऑर्बिट कम्प्लिटली फिल्ड असतं, particularly of helium with 2 electrons, that is with duplet rule, and other gases with 8 electrons, octet rule, and therefore they have low chemical reactivity. Now elements of group 17 are called as halogen family, that is fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Then group 16, that is oxygen family, or they are also called as chalcogens, that they contains reactive non-metals. Particularly the elements from these two groups are highly reactive non-metals. The 13 group, next one, the electron gain enthalpy is being highly negative. They gain 1 or more 2 electrons readily and form anions which have complete octet. particularly group number 16 or 17. Now their electron gain enthalpies are more negative. What is electron gain enthalpy? Is the property is seen in next point. Electron gain enthalpy, particularly the enthalpy change or the energy that takes place when an energy changes takes place when an electron is added to an isolated gaseous atom in its ground state. त्या ठिकाणी आयसोलेटेड गॅसेस स्टेट जर असेल त्या ॲटमची आणि त्याच्या ग्राउंड स्टेटमध्ये त्या ठिकाणी एखादा इलेक्ट्रॉन ॲड केला जात असेल आणि त्यावेळेला जे एनर्जी चेंजेस होतात त्या एनर्जी चेंजेसला त्या ठिकाणी इलेक्ट्रॉन गेन एन्थाल्पी. याच्यामध्ये फ्लोरीन असेल किंवा हॅलोजन फॅमिली असेल किंवा चॅल्कोजेन्स असेल तर त्या ठिकाणी ते अनायन्स फॉर्म करतात. त्या ठिकाणी निगेटिव्हली चार्जेड आयन्स. फॉर एक्झाम्पल Cl plus E minus it gives Cl minus. So for example of chalcogen's oxygen, O plus 2E minus it gives O2 minus. आणि त्याच्यामुळं त्यांची जी रिॲक्टिव्हिटी असते त्या ठिकाणी रिॲक्टिव्हिटी जास्त असते. Particularly they forms anions, that is X minus or X2 minus. Now next one, the p block contains all the three traditional types of elements. याच्यामध्ये हा जर p ब्लॉक एलिमेंट्सचे एलिमेंट जर आपण ऑब्झर्व केले तर त्याच्यामध्ये मेटल्स असतील, नॉन मेटल्स असतील आणि त्या ठिकाणी मेटलॉइड्स या तिन्ही टाईपचे त्या ठिकाणी एलिमेंट्स प्रेझेंट आहे. तर त्या ठिकाणी जो पिरियडिक टेबल असेल, पिरियडिक टेबलमध्ये जर पाहिलं तर त्या ठिकाणी त्या ठिकाणी ग्रुप नंबर 13 मध्ये त्या ठिकाणी स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम ॲल्युमिनियम च्या डार्क ग्रीनमध्ये त्या ठिकाणी ॲल्युमिनियम, गॅलियम, इंडियम, थॅलियम, टीन, लेड, bismuth from 15 element etc. These elements are basic metals. ग्रुप 13 मध्ये ॲल्युमिनियम, गॅलियम, इंडियम, थॅलियम असेल. ग्रुप 14 मध्ये त्या ठिकाणी टीन असेल, लेड असेल. 15 मध्ये बिस्मथ असेल. तर हे त्या ठिकाणी दे बिहेव ॲज बेसिक मेटल्स. डार्क ग्रीन. त्याच्यानंतर सॉफ्ट किंवा माइल्ड ग्रीन जे एलिमेंट्स त्या ठिकाणी पिरियडिक टेबलमध्ये कलरमध्ये किंवा त्या माइल्ड ग्रीन कलरमध्ये प्रेझेंट केलेले आहे. दे आर सर्व ॲज मेटॅलॉइड्स. विच वन? दॅट इज बोरॉन फ्रॉम ग्रुप 13. देन सिलिकॉन, जर्मेनियम फ्रॉम ग्रुप 14. Then arsenic, antimony from group 15 and tellurium, polonium from group 16. These elements are served as metalloids, which shows both the characteristics of metals and non-metals. This is metalloids. Now next one, soft blue color elements, particularly non-metals and blue colors. From this one they behave as non-metals. Soft blue colors, they are non-metals, that is carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfur, selenium, etc. These are the non-metals from group 14, 15 and 16. Next one, dark blue color elements, that is of halogen family, that is contains fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine, etc. And last one, noble gas elements, that is helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. So these are p block elements contains all the three traditional types of elements, that are metals on the left, the non-metals on the right, and the metalloids along a zigzag line, that is we see in p block elements. The non-metallic character increases as we move from the left to the right, where it decreases as we go down a group. So students, these are the properties of, or say, characteristics of p block elements. So students, today in this lecture we see simply next point, characteristics of p block elements. First we see just outline for the modern periodic table or structure of the modern periodic table that contains four blocks: S block, P block, D block and A block, which is situated below the main structure of the periodic table. Then why these blocks are termed as S block, P block, D block and A block? That particularly for P block, the last or valence electron enter into the p orbitals, so they are termed as p block elements. Now first point, which groups are present in p block? That are 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. And which elements are present? Particularly of boron family that contain aluminium, gallium, indium, thallium. Carbon family: silicon, germanium, tin, lead. Nitrogen family contain phosphorus, arsenic, antimony. Oxygen or chalcogens contain sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. Next one, halogens: fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, etc. Now last one, inert gas family or noble gases: helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon. Now next property, the elements from group first and second, that S block elements and also P block elements, particularly they term as main group elements or representative elements. Next property, the last group elements are of P block are termed as inert gases or noble gases. Why they are termed as noble gases or inert gases, we see in details. Next one, group number 17, halogen family, and group number 16, chalcogens. Particularly they include reactive nonmetals. That is why they are termed as reactive nonmetals, or particularly included in reactive nonmetal, particularly a prism of electron highly negative electron gain enthalpies. That's by forming anions by gaining one or two electrons, which having complete octet. Now next one, the P block contains all the three types of traditional types of elements, that particularly on the extremely left, the metals, in between on the right non-metals, in between these two metallites present in zigzag line. That is, it shows both characteristics of metals and non-metals and simply characters. So students, यामध्ये आपण पी ब्लॉक एलिमेंटचे कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स पाहिलेले आहेत. त्याच्यानंतर असतील डी ब्लॉक आणि एफ ब्लॉक एलिमेंटचे. त्याच्यावरचे जे क्वेश्चन्स असतील ते तुम्हाला वेळोवेळी त्या ठिकाणी क्वेश्चन्स दिले जातील, ते तुम्ही तुमच्या नोटबुकमध्ये त्या ठिकाणी सॉल्व करून ठेवायचे आहेत. नंतर आपली शाळा सुरू झाल्यानंतर, स्कूल पण झाल्यानंतर त्या ठिकाणी आपण ते चेक करणार आहोत. व्यवस्थित तुम्ही युनिटचं नाव त्या ठिकाणी आणि पहिल्यापासून जे प्रश्न असतील त्या ठिकाणी क्वेश्चन्स दिलेले असतील ते त्या ठिकाणी तुम्ही ते तुमच्या वहीमध्ये लिहून ठेवायचे आहेत. तर आजच्या या केमिस्ट्री लेक्चरमध्ये आपण सर्व विद्यार्थी सहभागी झाला त्याबद्दल मी सर्वांचे आभार मानतो. थँक्यू.